In this video, I want to talk about the SSL Oracle. It's the new digitally recallable console by Solid State Logic. And it's incredibly expensive. And there's a lot of people moaning about it because of how expensive it is. 24 channels is £105,000, which is a lot. But it's here's the thing with in regards to cost, it is a lot, but it's in keeping with the price of consoles. This is how much consoles cost, especially SSL consoles. You know, you got £90,000 for an AWS. You know, so a digitally recallable 24 channel console is going to cost around £100,000, which I don't think I went down there, right? So I went down to the launch event and I was in the car with Dale from SX Pro. And we're driving down there and he's saying to me, how much do you reckon it's going to cost? We knew what it was. You know, we didn't know that. Well, we actually know. We knew before the announcement went out in the morning what it was going to be. You could guess. I predicted this in a video. What was it? At the beginning of the year, I said there's going to be SSL will come out with a digitally recallable console because they'd be stupid not to, and they have. And I'll play that clip now in this video. SSL will go digitally recallable in 2025. Now, I've not been told anything about this, whether they will or whether they won't. I've been calling for it, and I want it, and it's a large format console with digital recall. Maybe 48 channels. I mean, even if it was bankable or something like that, something could happen. But a 48 channel, large console, fully digitally recallable. I'd love that. If there was a company that was going to build the best digitally recallable console there is, it was going to be SSL. They are the people that are capable of building what is actually needed, and they've succeeded with this. Trust me, they really have succeeded. So we were driving down to the launch event, and on the way there we were discussing, you know, how much is this console going to be, because nobody knew how much it was going to be until we kind of got into that discussion when we were down there. And I said, and it was wishful thinking, I said 60,000. I said, you know, if it was 60,000, I'd probably put an order in for one now. And Dale said, nah, it's got to be more. It's got to be, because the thing with it is if it's 60,000, it's going to destroy AWS. No one's ever going to buy an AWS ever again if it's 60,000, because why would you? You'd just buy the Oracle. You'd never buy an AWS. He said it's got to be up there with the AWS price. And he was right. And £105,000. And that is eye-watering amounts of money. And most people are going to look at that and go, it's not for me. And it isn't. That's the thing, is if that sort of money is mad amounts of money, and it's mad amounts of money to everyone, then it's not for you. UF8s are for you, kind of thing, or an SSL Big 6. So they're reasonably priced. When it comes to these sorts of consoles, they're for a specific person. You know, I would have one all day long sitting behind me. I've got an S4 at the moment, and I'd much rather, I'd be honest, I would much rather an Oracle sitting behind me. So the question that a few people ask me is, Paul, are you going to get one? And the honest answer is yes, I will, 100%. I'm not going to get one straight away, and there's a couple of reasons why I'm not going to get one straight away. I think everything's there right now with it. I think it's all there, but I think it's going to get better. It's not right now. It's not the best. It's not the finished product as it's currently is. It is. I think it's the finished product of what you see and how it's going to kind of work. But there's going to be new features. More features are going to come. My concern with it is that it won't be able to replace my S4. And my S4, I love my S4 for the control that I have over Pro Tools. That's my concern. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to drive down and we're going to go and see the guys at in Oxford at SSL, and we're going to have a little factory tour and go and have a little demo on the Oracle. And I want to know, and I want to see, and I want to be wowed, and I want to be kind of seduced, and I want to be, you know, I want to fall in love with this console. But my concern with it is it's inferior to what I currently have. Now, this is the problem that I have, and I'm in a relatively unique situation where if here's I've had all these conversations I've already had. Me and Dal had like 2-3 hour drive home where we've talked about all these different things, and one of them is like it's actually an Oracle is actually inferior to what I currently have. So if I just this is the big problem that I have. If I look at what I have in here, an Avid S4. So I've got the Avid S4 versus the Oracle's door control. Avid S4 wins all day long. So this current setup is better for door control. In here, I've got 32 channels of EQ and compression. The Oracle has 24 channels of EQ. The Oracle has a Bus Plus, an SSL Bus Plus. I have a Wes Audio NG bus comp and a Wes Audio NG tube comp on my bus. SSL have 24 channels of summing. I have 16 channels of summing that's digitally recallable as well, with Silk Red and Silk Blue on the mix bus. I've got 32 channels of channel strips of EQ and compression. This is the problem. This is the problem I have, is that it's actually, this Oracle is inferior to the setup I currently have. So I've got to think of it in a slightly different way of, well, how do I incorporate it into this current setup? And that's something that I've been exploring at the moment. And the way that I can do that is I can have 24 channels, and then I can put all my dynamics on top of that. So I can put those on the inserts. I can put other things on the inserts. So I can put everything on the inserts on the console, which isn't too bad. But even if I do that, I go down from 32 channels of EQs and compressors. I then go down to 24 channels. Now, the one really good thing that I love about the Oracle is that it's scalable. So what you see, and I'll put a picture up here of it. So what you see is the Oracle console. And this is the problem what a lot of people have, is they're looking at that and they're going, well, it's just a 3 UF8s and some UC1s or whatever. And they're looking at it as that. The problem is it's this up here, which is the basically a door controller. That is the controller. And what I'll put in a picture up here is the brains. So these are they're the brains of the unit. So the two work together and they connect to each other. And that's doing the control, and that's doing all the analog processing, the summing, the EQ, everything's going on in there that's analog processing. This is just the door controller, but this is what everybody sees. So everybody sees that and goes, oh, it's quite a small console. Now, the good thing about it is you can buy more brains. So you can put all these processing pieces, you can get another one. And they're looking at like around, I think it was like £30,000 for another 24 channels, which is brilliant. That's really good. So you could just literally go, bang, got another 32 channels, 30 grand. Yeah, that's expensive. Yes, of course it is, but there's a lot in that. Then you've got the actual door controller over here. So that's the control aspect of it, and they're the brains of it. And that's a really good idea, because that way it's scalable. Now, a few people have said, well, I want a console and I want it to be big and massive. I don't personally want that. I want that console that's relatively small format and it's probably about the same size as the S4 behind me. So it's that console there, and then you can just scale up. So you can have a machine room that's got loads of these racks in it. And you can put a load of those units into there. It's going to, from what I've heard, is it may potentially go up to 96 channels. It's currently set at 48 is the max, but it will maybe go up. So it's like, the good thing about that, and what I love about that, is I can start with 24 channels and go, yes, I love this. I love this console. Let's get another 24 channels. So we put another 24 in. Now we've got 48. Yeah, let's get another 24. Put another 24 in, and then another 24, up to 96 channels. And then you've got a lovely big console, and the console isn't getting bigger, and it's scalable. And I love that idea. So that's a really good idea. In terms of, so lots of people asked, Paul, are you going to get one? And I said yes. And I said earlier in the video, yes, I am going to get one. And I will get one, and I'm not getting it right now. And the reason I'm not getting it right now is because I'm building a new studio at the moment. So I'm going to build this. Basically, I'm building my dream studio. And I've built my dream studio in here. There's a few little things I want to change, though. So I'm building this new studio somewhere else. And I'm going to basically fit it with all of this gear, and I'm going to put my PMCs in that room. Now my question is, what I'm thinking about is whether to put in the Oracle and the S4 straight away, because I can get one for September and put one in, but I'm kind of thinking no. And the reason I'm thinking no is I've got to spend a hell of a lot of money building my new studio, and I'm getting some more speakers put in, and there's some more amps, and there's a massive amount of expense. I don't need 105k on top of that, which I want to get the studio done first. So the plan is that I'm going to get the studio in first, then I'll think about the console. Now, the funny thing is I mentioned to my business partner, Nick, who runs Studio A down there, and I said to him, I'm going to get an Oracle, and it's 105 grand. And he said, right, okay, you want an Oracle for 105 grand. He said to me, what do I get? I said, well, do you want an Oracle? He said, yeah, I want an Oracle. So we're going to get two. So eventually, at some point, you know, I don't think it will be, it won't be this year. I don't think it will be this year. We'll put one in. But next year, I think we'll put one in. Because we're going to build Nick a new studio, and he's going to have his dream studio, and we're going to build that by the end of the year, hopefully. So I'm going to have one in about the next 2-3 months. I'm going to build my one, get Nick's one then built straight after. And then once we've got the studios built and we're in those studios working, that's when we'll start thinking about the Oracle. But it is the console that we will fit. And it's the dream console. It's a quality console. It really is. I had to play with it, and it was really nice. It felt really good. The faders felt good. The pots felt really good. There was a few really good features with it. One of them that I was really impressed with was there was like a fine mode on it had something like, it was either 3,000 points on the EQ, or it was 30,000. It was something like that. But either 3,000 or 30,000 is mental. That many kind of increments, which means what that means is when you're switching through that EQ, if you're doing that with automation, it's just like an analog EQ. It feels it. Well, it is, but it's like all those points. It's not stepping at all. Like if I use the West Audio tube EQ, for instance, it's stepping between frequencies. With the SSL EQ, is this? I think it was 3,000, 30,000. I think might be a bit extreme, but 3,000 points. So you'll never hear a step between. If you're kind of going either with the gain or the frequency, it'll feel seamless. In many ways, a lot of people weren't impressed with the announcement, and they didn't think of it as very revolutionary. I thought it was revolutionary, but this is the thing, and this is the really important thing. And if you've got this far into the video and listened to me go on about the Oracle and my experiences and my thoughts about it, and you're this far in the video, there's one good thing to take away from this, and that is the Oracle is just the start. That's the flagship. This is the flagship console. What has been proved is that SSL can do it in a major way. They're not just talking about, they've not just kind of gone in and gone, right, well, here we've done a 500 series module and we've got it to be digitally recallable and it's really good. Have a listen. They've gone, we've made a console that is the best console you'll ever use. It's digitally recallable. It's the most futuristic and most forward-thinking console on the market ever to be made, and we've made it. And the one thing that everybody can take away from that is the tech's there now. They've got the tech. So now expect to see a Bus Plus with digital recall. Expect to see a Fusion with digital recall. Expect to see the Mic Pre's with digital recall. All of these things, digitally recallable versions. Expect to see them. Now, I have zero knowledge of what is in the pipeline for SSL. But what I would imagine it would be silly not to is have loads that like just build digital recall into everything you currently have. 500 series, digital recall. 19-inch rack, digital recall. All of this. Just build digitally recallable versions of everything. I mean, it's wishful thinking. And it's not going to happen overnight. But it may happen in time. So everybody that was like, no, this is rubbish. And it's not revolutionary and all this sort of stuff. And I saw so many comments like this. And I thought to myself, these people, they're just thinking about them. It's the problem with a lot of people and why they fail in business in general is they don't look at the bigger picture. They just look at this, and they're too focused and narrow with just this. That's all they can see. Whereas I look at these big format consoles and go, there's a Bus Plus in that. There's an EQ in that. The tech's there. They can do this. That means they'd be silly not to have a digitally recallable Bus Plus. There's no reason we won't see a digitally recallable Bus Plus because there is one in that console. There's a digitally recallable EQ in that console. It's doable because it's already been done. So it would be silly. Maybe it won't happen right now. Maybe it won't even happen by the end of the year. It will be announced at NAMM. That's when it will be announced. So look, I could literally, an SSL would probably say, Paul, why are you even putting the thought into people's heads? Because it's obvious. There'll be, come NAMM, there'll be a Fusion and a Bus Plus. And I have no prior knowledge of that. They've not told me anything about that. But it's just logical. It's just it's what should happen. That's what it is. It's not necessarily, I do think that's what's going to happen, but it's what the roadmap should look like. If they're sensible, there'll be a Fusion, there'll be a Bus Plus, there'll be even a 500 series. There'll probably be, I don't know about this one, but there could be a smaller digitally recallable console that's small format. There could be. I doubt it. And the only reason I say I doubt it is because I think if you bring out a smaller version, the problem with bringing out a smaller version is most people, especially me, if they brought out a smaller version, I go, right, okay, S4, got the S4, smaller version, bang, sit them both side by side, which is what I might already do. That's what I might do with the Oracle when I do eventually get hold of one. But look, I'm going for a demo on it, and I will share lots of video content on the demo that I do with it, and I will give more of my thoughts on how good it is, whether I'm actually going to go through with it and buy one. And if I buy one, if I buy one, I've got to buy two, because Nick's not going to let me have one, and he's not going to have one. He wants one as well. These are SSL consoles. Every engineer, it doesn't matter who you are, you would all want an SSL console. their quality. And this Oracle is next level. It's incredible. And there's the good thing about the Oracle is there's lots more to come. What it can do right now isn't just what it can do. This isn't the end of it. This isn't its final form. It will get better and better and better, which is kind of why I don't really want to get it right now, because I want to see what features come with it down the line. So yeah, that's my my opinion on the SSL Oracle. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I love it. I think it's a brilliant step forward. The other thing to say is thank you, SSL, for my bag of goodies. There was loads of nice goodies in there, including this t-shirt that I'm wearing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what SSL will come up with and will do in the future, because I think the future's always been bright for SSL. They've got their finger on the button. They're good to go. I think they were slow to pick up on the digitally recallable side of things, but I think what they wanted to do, I think thinking about it now, I think what they've done is done it right. They've gone in big time. They've not just kind of gone in and gone, oh, well, here's a digitally recallable fusion. And everybody goes, wow, SSL in a digital recall game. And everybody kind of turn around and go, yeah, wicked. And that's great. But what they have done is they've taken a little bit of time over it, and they've put together a console and gone, right, we're actually coming in now and we're going to change the game. And I think the Oracle is somewhat of a game changer. The problem, as I said before, the problem is with me is it's in no way a game changer for me, because it's what I have already. It's just put into a kind of smaller form. In many ways, I prefer what I've got, because what I have is I've got VariMu comps, multi-band comps. I've got Dione, which does VCA comp. I've got Pultec style EQs, passive EQs, Hyperion parametric EQs, tubes, valves, there's all sorts, everything, all different flavors, every different flavor you could possibly want. And the SSL one is SSL sound, one sound. So, but that's not, look, I want one. I do want one. I think they're brilliant. But if I tell you one last final thing, and this was something I thought about earlier, was that if I was building this new studio and I was taking none of this gear, nothing in here was coming. It was just I was putting a new system in and it was bare, and I was like, right, I need to buy a Mac, and I need to buy some screens, and I need to put in some gear. I'd go, right, put an Oracle in, and I'm pretty much covered. 24 channels of summing, I've got all my EQs, and then I could probably have a rack of DSPs, and pretty good to go. Maybe then buy 12 West Audio compressors, pop them on, and then I've got 12 channel strips, stereo channel strips, and mix bus. I've got the bus comp, and then just some mastering gear. So if I didn't already have all this, then I'd go full steam ahead right now. But I already have what the Oracle is, and some. Like I do in here, I think I worked it out the other day at like 180 channels of analog processing that's fully digitally recallable. Whereas the Oracle is 24 channels digitally recallable analog processing. So, you know, it's a little bit better in here than it is having just an Oracle. So I'm in a different situation, but I still want one. And I more want one just because it's like, I've got an SSL console, which we all want to say. You know, I've got an Avid S4 console. Yeah, it's brilliant. Love the Avid S4. It's quality. but doesn't change the sound in any way. It's just about workflow. Whereas the Oracle is going to be quality. So yeah, it's expensive, but it's damn good. And you do get a lot for your money in some ways.